Hey, Scruffy. How are you? Okay, it looks like you're ready, huh? So I have the last of your, I think it's super supper and kibble. Okay. Let's go on out. Okay, so let's get your food on the table. Glove. Okay. So today was another nice day of weather. A little warm, like yesterday. I think it's supposed to start cooling down. But I didn't check the weather today, so we'll see. It'll be really nice if it cools down a little bit. It's still too early to get really hot, so days like this make me nervous. So I finally watered the first part of the garden, or the front yard. So I did it late this afternoon, not long ago. So I didn't go for a walk today, since I've been going for walks and runs the past few days. It's kind of a pull-up day, and seemed like I probably should give my legs a rest since I've been running a little bit harder than usual since my runs have been so bad. I've been trying to make up for it by doing it more often, but I know my legs are going to need a rest. And I don't want to re-injure myself. So I didn't see any cats or anything today since I was in. I climbed my glove again. So, yeah, no friendly cat today. No boots. None of the other ones. Surprised I didn't see the Siamese cat though, because I usually, well, I don't want to say usually, but I sometimes see the Siamese cat across the street from my house. Usually when I'm in the yard, because yeah, every time I see the Siamese cat, I don't think I ever have my camera. So I don't think I've actually gotten footage of the Siamese cat. So after my run yesterday, as I was walking back from the park, I happened to come across, whoops, oh, he almost scratched me there. Okay, he didn't scratch me though, so I'm okay. But yeah, you gotta be nicer, Scruffy. You're making me nervous. So I was passing, it's nearby where the porch cat lives, or hangs out. And there's a house that has a bunch of dogs, and they have an enclosed front yard with fence, and a lot of times they bring the dogs out and let them roam in the front unattended. And quite often, yeah, when I pass by, the dogs bark very loudly at me. And Yeah, I just ignore them, but yeah. But yeah, the dogs haven't gotten used to me. So anyway, I happened to notice my neighbor, uh, my immediate neighbors in this part of the neighborhood. He was jumped up and was talking to the owner of the house with the dogs. So I finally got an introduction to who lives there and the dog owner. So he's pretty nice, and he actually let one of the dogs out to sniff me. So he said, "Yeah, maybe they'll stop barking at you." Yeah, I have to deal with dogs. So you don't get dogs back here. Just other cats, maybe. Yeah. Does that mean you're ready for food, or is that like the neck rub there? So we're still a little early here. Yeah. Yeah, you like climbing, huh? So like me heading lower in your chest. So last night, I thought I heard maybe a meow from the kitchen, but I didn't see anything, so it might have just been in my imagination. But yeah, I was wondering if Scruffy was going to try for a repeat of the previous night where he was on the table and looked at me and then he meowed directly at me several times. So I thought, maybe he was going to learn that he can call me out for snacks in the middle of the night if I'm there. But I didn't see him, so and I didn't hear any more meows, so I didn't come out. Yeah, yeah, I think you're ready, huh? So finish up your neck rub there, and then we'll get you some food. Yeah, I don't want to jinx it. He almost scratched me earlier. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, I think Scruffy's in a good mood today, huh? I didn't think so, considering he avoided me at lunch. Yeah, maybe he's gotten a better mood since lunch. Okay, I think we're pretty close to food time. What do you think? Yeah. Okay, let's get your food. Okay, here's your food. Whoops. And we're gonna have to get the brush. So he's been dodging the brush. Yesterday he was extra skittish. Today he's doing a little better. Okay, I'm done. So let's see. Yeah, I didn't see Scruffy early morning. I saw him late morning. He was on the table sleeping. Oh, and I think, yeah, when I got the recording, he looked like he may have been sleeping with one eye slightly open. He was looking directly in my direction, and to me, it looked like his eye was a little bit open. So yeah, I caught him, I think, sleeping with his one eye open a week or two ago. So I think it's a thing he does. And then, let's see. Yeah, at lunchtime he disappeared. So I came out with the water, and I looked around. So I even looked under the table this time, because yeah, last time I did this, he was not around, and then the moment I finished going in and closed the blinds, and then I look out the kitchen window, there he is drinking the water. So he must have been close by. I just didn't see where he was. So this time I checked in under the table, and I didn't see him. And, walked around the table, looked in the garden. I actually tried to take a closer look at that maple tree that isn't doing well. Looks like it might be dead. Just hoping to find some signs of life, but so far nothing. So I still need to water the back. I'm thinking maybe I should use the fertilizer stake that I bought a couple months ago. So see if there's a last ditch thing I can try. So I gave it a fertilizer stake at the end of fall. I wasn't sure if I need to give it another one. My concern was that I may have used the wrong fertilizer type the first time, because I wasn't actually able to get the proper one, because I guess shortages. And yeah, from what I understand now, with the geopolitical stuff going on, fertilizer is actually going to be even harder to get. So part of me is thinking that I should probably just try using that new fertilizer stake. On the other hand, the fertilizer is that hard to get. I don't know if I should save it for the other plants. But yeah, so anyway, after I was done, came back in, immediately closed the blinds, and then I went up to the window, and yeah, I saw Scruffy had approached the water bowl. My guess is he was hiding probably under the deck, and then after I went in, he climbed up under the deck and walked up the steps and came to the water bowl. So he was intentionally avoiding me. So yeah, anyway, yeah. When I finally get around to watering the back, I might try the fertilizer stake. I want that tree to survive. Of course, there's a possibility over fertilizing it could kill it too, but at this point, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure. Trying something or do no harm is the better policy. And then let's see. Yeah, later I saw Scruffy on the table again, kind of late afternoon, sleeping. Yeah, he was closer to the sun oven, I think, that time. So I've been still depressed and not eating enough because it's good for my diet. So I'm probably losing weight, but it's not a healthy way to do it, at least in the long term. I almost finished my dinner last night, and then for lunch I actually ate the rest of it, so I actually had some food today. So I ate a little more than yesterday. So I also continue to work on my taxes, and that's more depressing. Frustrating. So I thought I was. I think I'm on the last hard form. I think. And then I take that back. I know there's another couple forms I need to do, but I actually know how to do those. So they're tedious, but they're probably not going to be my problem. So I'll be okay. But this is the hardest one, I think, because this is the form. Well, it's a form I've done before, kind of, sort of, but I started trading options this past year. I'd never done that before, and I know there are tax considerations. I tried to study up on them before I started, but yeah, it's really hard to study this type of thing. You have to actually kind of do it so you have real data, because it's too academic if you don't have actual like real data sets, and nobody gives you sample real data sets and sample real tax forms to try out ahead of time when you trade options. So you just kind of have to do it. And so this adds to the complexity of the forms in ways I didn't fully appreciate or even understand at this, and still even now. So TurboTax is doing something really weird, and I'm trying to scrutinize it because I'm not convinced it's actually doing the right thing. And that's maybe where I'm making myself more miserable, because I know a lot of people just blindly trust TurboTax to do the right thing, but I know if there's a mistake, you're the one who's technically liable. And if TurboTax is making a mistake, somebody has to fix it. And TurboTax is not going to fix it just for you. So they would have done it right in the first place if they were going to fix it, right? But at the very least, I need a sanity check to figure out if my numbers are correct. But this part is so complicated, I actually can't figure out how they compute the numbers. And so I've been reading and reading their forums. So it comes down to two forms, Schedule D and Form 8949. And so under certain conditions, you have to list all the positions that you close on 8949. So I kind of assumed that TurboTax would just take all my closed positions and list every single one of them, and that would make sense. But no, they actually only do a small subset of them. And that's where I'm getting confused. Because, for instance, I did something called a bull call debit spread. So you have you buy an option and you sell an option, and you treat them together. So I would assume. So this one happened to be profitable, so I closed it. So I made a profit on one part of it and had a loss on the other, but it's a net positive. I would presume in this form I would see both options listed, but in fact I only see the losing part listed and not the winning part. And that just strikes me as weird. And I've been trying to understand how this is computed and how these numbers propagate, and I'm totally lost. And I've been searching through their forums, and apparently the best answer I've found so far is TurboTax actually changed the way they do it, and they're using, I get the impression they claim the way they do it is still technically correct and allowed, but nobody actually knows exactly the algorithm TurboTax is using to decide this, so it's basically impossible for you to spot check their work. So it's kind of a leap of faith that they're doing the right thing, and that makes me really, really unhappy. And actually my numbers didn't quite add up, but I think my numbers, they're off by about $3, and so I think it's possibly around there. I'd feel better if it was under $2, but it's I think it's like $2.50 something cents or something like that, or 60 something cents. Remove the balls for Scruffy here. So I spent all of last night and all of today trying to figure this part out. I've figured out, I haven't figured actually how their listing works, but I have figured out once they do the listing how they computed the numbers that they propagate. So I figured out that piece at least, but yeah, how they decide which numbers to list is still this huge mystery to me, and at this point I don't think I can solve it actually, so I think I might just move on and pray it's actually correct, and the discrepancy I have is only due to rounding error, which is allowed. But yeah, I'm really unhappy. And then I still need to validate the entire tax return. So I got two things to validate. So first thing is, I mentioned yesterday, TurboTax thought I triggered something where I'm subject to the AMT, which I think is wrong. And so I tried creating two tax returns, one that avoids the AMT thing that they triggered, and one that goes through it to see if the forms are any different. And then I need to do another pass on whatever the result is to see if the actual whole tax return is actually reasonable. So I'm going to actually have to sit down and try to understand it. Okay, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.